Everybody gets one.
Hey everybody, it's Alex and Sam here from Everybody Gets One, and we're back again. Before we start, make sure to follow Everybody Gets One at Everybody Gets 01 everywhere, okay? And because of the last live stream, I want to acknowledge a couple people who joined in. All right, Fees, you know who you are. You joined in. That was great. Thank you for joining in. Hope to see you again on another live stream. Pluto Dre, even though you get on my nerves. All right, it was nice having you there. Hope you join in on another stream. Mr. Sherman, CS Sherman, joining in again. Thank you for joining in on our live stream. And Jeff Underwood, thank you again for joining in from the TLA show. Thank you for joining in on our live stream. It's October. It's Halloween season. So we might as well look into a nice spooky movie for you guys. And it's a movie that I wanted to see in 2018, but I didn't get the chance to see. Overlord.
Yep.
Yay. Basically Call of Duty Zombies.
At
least that's what I thought it was going to be.
It's this month's DLC. Let's just call it that.
Yeah.
It's this month's DLC.
The DLC pack.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's classic cliche war movie. Americans fighting the Nazis. You know?
Nazis.
But yeah, there were some familiar faces in this.
Yay.
What's his name? Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell, our
U.S. agent.
Not so favorite Captain America, aka the U.S. agent. Yes, You are correct with that chin. I hate that damn chin. But I didn't see much of the chin in this. You know, he made me like him. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the cap helmet. He's just not meant to put that on.
Nah.
He's just not meant to put that on.
Looks weird. But yeah, this movie basically, you know,
and he wasn't a villain.
Yeah,
he wasn't a villain.
Depends on which side you
want. He ain't no villain to me. He did the right thing. Through this whole movie, he did the right thing, as far as I'm concerned. But go ahead.
What you know, U.S. soldiers are pretty much
it's D-Day, pretty much.
It's pretty much D-Day, and they were supposed to drop behind enemy lines, but they dropped too far.
A little too far.
Yeah. I mean, D-Day.
Well, they had a goal in mind, though.
They had a goal. They were getting attacked, and they missed their DZ by a couple miles, and they ended up being ambushed by a couple soldiers.
Nazis.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Let me set the premise a little more for you guys. So the whole situation is they're supposed to drop in behind enemy lines at a certain location so they can take out a radio tower, because around, I forgot what day D-Day was, but the whole premise of the story is that it takes place around D-Day before the invasion, and they have to get rid of this Nazi compound that's radioing signals to everybody in order for them to successfully land on the beach and not get swarmed, right? So I don't even know how to say his name. Jovan. Okay. Jovan's his crew. Well, and Russell's crew was there too. Well, Russell's there within Jovan's crew.
Well, his character's name is Boyce. And
Boyce. I'm not gonna remember.
Wyatt
Corporal Ford.
Ford, yeah. So there's Boyce and Ford, Tibbet, Chase, all them.
Yeah. So their job was to land at a certain location, get down, destroy the tower, so the D-Day invasion can be successful. But their asses get shot down. It was cool. That opening scene to me was like straight out of Call of Duty.
Yep.
I loved it. I love that scene. It was awesome.
Yeah. I feel bad for the captain though.
The plane going down was tight.
Yeah.
The emergency landing was tight. I can kind of tell that the budget was kind of low on this movie, though. I ain't gonna lie. Because when they got ripped out of that plane, you can tell that green screen, that shit was showing. I'm not gonna lie. Them niggas were sharp as hell falling out that plane. It was sharp as hell, but it was good. So the way they did it was so good that it kind of didn't bother me that even happened. So, but yeah, that part was tight. We gotta talk about Bokeem. Woodbine.
Yeah.
Every movie that this man is in, he gets screwed. And I'm not happy about this.
But you gotta talk about the characters that he played though, man. Sometimes he plays a dirty cop. Sometimes he plays some kind of thug or whatever. But he always gets gunned down like the most horrible ways.
But he ain't do nothing though. He ain't do nothing wrong in this movie. He did not deserve this.
He showed up
This
at
is
the wrong
wrong.
place. He showed up at the wrong place.
They all showed up at the wrong place. Somebody else should have got shot up. They lit this man up like it was training day. He got the training day light up. Like they showed this man no mercy, no nothing. They just took my man out. It was not right.
It was like a full firing squad and they just lit him up.
Lit him up. He had what, like 15 lines in this movie?
Yeah, he had an inspirational he was trying to gather the troops at the beginning, and then people were dying, like they were flying, right? And then bullets just kept coming through the plane.
That was so tight though.
People were dying left and right. You saw that one medic, right, pull out a whole bunch of like it was like gauze or wraps. He was trying to like save this one dude. He said, I can save him. And somebody from behind was like, nah, man, he's dead. You can't save him.
Yeah, I don't know why they be doing that dumb shit. Like, you gotta let them niggas go. But yeah, they end up landing. He gets shot up. A bunch of other people get shot. Oh no. We can't skip over this. Whoever wrote it, I'll give them some credit on how they took some people out. So there's the photographer, right? I'm always thinking, okay, a photographer, he's going to die because photographers in war zones do sometimes, no offense to all the photographers in war zones, but some of them in these movies do dumb shit. So I was thinking the photographer was going to go. But then there was a guy who kind of reminded me of like a Forrest Gump character. Like he's writing a book and he's writing a book.
But here's the thing though. Do you know who that man was?
Nah, I don't know who he is.
That was Grey Worm.
That was not Grey Worm.
That was Grey Worm.
That was motherfucking Grey Worm.
That was Grey Worm. And you always know that anybody
it is Grey Worm.
That man was in that movie for 5 whole minutes. He was talking about writing a book, and then dude was like, "How'd you get so good writing books?" He's like, "Well, my mom writes a recipe book back home, you know, and I figured I'd probably write about the war." He was like, "Hey man, won't you let me use some of your photography for my book?" And the next you know, he steps on a landmine and boom.
Bro,
it's classic. It's a classic war story that anybody that talks about going home or talk about anybody that they miss, like their wife or their kids or whatever,
you're gonna die.
Yeah, they're instantly gonna die.
I can't believe they killed Grey Worm.
I'm surprised you didn't notice that.
I didn't notice that was him. I just, oh man. But here's the thing that really trips me out though, because landmines need to be banned from being used in war, man. That shit is crazy because you never know when you could trip on one of them joints. And imagine that when the war is over, you know some of them landmines are still there in Europe, right? Some of them landmines are still there.
Like what they normally do is they drop like missiles or whatever in that area or grenades.
Yeah, they try to blow them all up.
Yeah,
and sometimes they miss.
They still don't know where everyone is. Every one of the landmines are, but you know they try to.
But look though, Grey Worm got blown up so bad that there was no body. Did you notice that? There was no body. It was nothing left. He was like, "Where is he?" It was like, "Nah, he gone, man." He was like, "He was dead." And then he wasn't. I'm like,
that's how work.
That's kind of what happens. Yeah, 1 minute you're there, 1 minute you're not. Yeah, see, that's the one thing I didn't like about Siobhan's character. What's
Boyce? His name is Boyce.
Yeah, that's the one thing I didn't like about his character as Boyce. He was too passive, and I understand. You know, as we move further along, he did grow out of it, but the way it happened, it took way too long for me personally, it took way too long, and it was like damn near at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He basically reminded me of Shinji. He was literally Shinji through the whole movie. Like, because remember, one of his fellow soldiers told the story about how there was a mouse that needed to be killed. Instead of killing the mouse, he set the mouse free. Then the mouse came back and started shitting everywhere again. And then, he's basically a pacifist. He joined the military to not fight, pretty much, which is pretty stupid.
Yeah, dude was basically saying, "Yo, you're not meant for this. You're not meant for war at all."
He wasn't to me. Yeah. He really wasn't to me.
But you were talking about the merry band of men when it comes to like war movies. You got the photographer, you got the person that's longing for home that gets killed early on in the film. You got the brass stoic captain who's leading these men. You got the tough guy who's going to insult the person that seems to be the weakest person, but that weak person ends up being like the fucking hero of some sort. And again, you got Boyce, who's basically the passive character who basically he's like the person that has the most sympathy out of the whole group.
Hold on real quick. I'm gonna cut this anyway. Why does that keep it on me? Hold on. I'm gonna just do this. Testing. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. There we go. But yeah. Okay. Our merry band.
So they're in the woods right now, and they have to basically go to where this radio tower, which it took a while for them to get there, but they're in the woods in the dark, and they meet up with this woman named Chloe.
I call her Scarlett Johansson light.
Yeah,
she kind of reminded me of Scarlett, my boo.
Right. So she ends up running away, and they like try to catch her because they think that she's gonna warn the soldiers about them. They end up catching her, and as you know it, Boyce is the only one out of the group that can speak French.
Hey man, Louisiana man, that Creole baby. Let's go.
We find out that he was raised by his grandmother.
Yeah,
his grandmother back in Louisiana.
Oh, was that his aunt? I don't remember. It was a grandmother or aunt.
One of them.
Yeah,
one of them. So Chloe leads them into the village where she's staying, and she actually, she becomes one of the people that help in this mission.
Yeah, she's basically your guide through the mission. When you get this really was a video game. When you get partially through the video game, you need that guide that's always in the HUD. It's like, you need to get to here to get here. Here's the map, and they give you part of the map. That's basically what she was in this video game movie. Good video game movie, mind you.
They end up going into her place, and she meets. They meet her brother, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And
who thinks all Americans play baseball because he's racist. Continue.
Well,
no. That's racist.
Anyway, so they're all hiding in the attic, and some German soldiers decide to come in and make a pit stop.
You mean an
aggressive
essay stop?
An aggressive
essay stop. An essay stop.
No, an aggressive pit stop. So she basically had to pay the toll for them to leave her alone.
Almost.
And Boyce decides to go down there after learning a little bit more about her family and stuff like that. We found out that she has a sick aunt.
Yeah, auntie.
Sick aunt who was basically, you'll find out more about what's going on with her.
Mm-hmm.
And so he ends up saving her, and they interrogate they didn't interrogate. They captured the soldier. He was like a captain.
He's like a general, or he's in charge of that whole town. So I guess you could call him a general. Yeah, he's in charge of all the soldiers in that town.
Yeah, it was Captain. Wafner, who's played by
Smiven Hooven.
Pilo.
Yeah.
As big. He's a guy from Game of Thrones too.
Yeah, I remember him. He's the cousin of the ship chick who runs all the ships. Yeah.
Him?
Yeah, that's him.
Are you
That's him.
serious?
Yeah. I know that face. Bruh, I know that face. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, that's him. That's the ship. Yeah, that is him. Yep. That's the ship dude.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wait, was he supposed to like he was supposed to do something like marry somebody or whatever? He's trying to take some girl.
Yeah, so he was trying to okay, Game of Thrones time. So he killed his dad.
Yeah,
so he can try to get control, and then he tried to kill his cousin. So she basically got banished, and then he took over, and then he tried to marry the queen so he can gain the Iron Throne.
Okay. All right.
Yes. I did like Game of Thrones a lot.
Okay.
Except for that final season. Trash.
Yeah. So anyways, they he's been captured, he's been tied up. He sends boys to go get the other guys because they went out for like reconnaissance.
Yeah, to recon, check out the bridge, see what they had to deal with. And your boy
Voice
Wyatt was while he while he was supposed to interrogate the Captain Wafner or whatever.
Wafner,
yeah, he was supposed to interrogate him. And then they split up to go recon. And our protagonist ends up getting captured.
But he didn't.
Not captured.
He went to go get them, right? And basically they had to track.
He captured himself. So he captured himself.
He's in the woods, right? And some truck rolls by, and then he looks back and he sees a German Shepherd.
Exactly, the bane of all black men.
Shut up.
Is it not?
Anyways,
yeah.
He ends up chasing after that truck and stowing away inside that truck, and he basically gets
a truck of dead bodies.
A dead body. He hid himself under the dead bodies, because
captured himself.
Because then they were going to use those dead bodies as part of the experiment that's going on inside that. Was it a church?
Laboratory.
It was a laboratory.
It's under like a castle-like churchish type of thing. And the radio tower just happened to be in the exact same area.
Exactly.
Was it? It was right above it. Yeah.
Now, while Boyce is in there, he's basically scouting the areas, and then he's seeing one worse thing after the other.
You see a body in a sack.
He sees a
bunch of bodies in sacks, like in these like cocoon rags. I like the way they did that, though. They didn't try to make it, because what some of these movies do, because I understand like their budget, I can kind of tell, was kind of like, it wasn't high, but it wasn't low.
They had a $38 million budget.
Oh, so that's low. But still, no, what they did with that budget, I enjoy, because they didn't try to go like, you know what, because we only have this much money, let's waste it all in like CGI or anything like that. They did practical effects. Yes.
Practical effects.
So it's like when they had this little cocoon, like when I say cocoon, I'm just being very vague, but it's not really a cocoon. It's like they took a rag, they basically used proper era materials, and they like put this person in like a sack full of this mystery liquid, and he's like begging for help, and he kind of stretches his hand through it a little bit, and he kind of unzips it down. Like everything felt like it belonged. So if you guys want to go watch this movie for Halloween again, like you will not feel like, oh man, this is kind of cheesy or anything. They were very subtle with the effects and things.
They were very subtle, but then it wasn't subtle to Boyce, because he pulled back that sheet and saw that head with no body, and that head was still talking.
Yeah, which kind of don't make no sense, because where the vocal cords at? Ain't the vocal cords in the neck? And don't you need your lungs?
It was. So here's the thing: it had everything, right? But it had no.
Yeah, it was just the spine. Spinal cord
in the spine.
Oh yeah. But don't you need your lungs to speak? You need air. Where the air coming from? See, I'm diving too deep into it. I'm not blowing suspense. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me blow my mind for a little bit.
So Boyce ends up finding one of his captured comrades who was impaled with some sort of
big ass.
It was a tube,
a tube with
and it was like
a giant needle on the inside
and
around
I
the
think it
tube,
was
and then a
his blood, right?
stitching. Yeah, I think they were either trying to siphon out his blood, because if he was getting injected with the mystery liquid, we know other things would have happened to him, but it didn't.
Right.
So I think they were trying to siphon out from. They just probably never got started yet. That's probably what
So
it was.
this is what the captain said. He says that the people of this village were sitting on top of this. It was a tar. It was something that was coming from the earth, and it was inside this tar. And he said that the liquid needed to be refined by their bodies. So I guess he was putting the liquid in their bodies and like refining it, or taking out the impurities and whatever was
And then I
left.
guess using it,
Yeah,
for other people. Some people are basically used as, like you said, refinement, like how you would mix crude oil to make gas, basically,
right.
in a sense. And the humans were sort of the catalyst to help refine it. And then you use that final refined liquid after you've done killed a bunch of people. You use that to enhance the things, which we're going to talk about later.
Yeah. So he ends up getting his boy. They end up getting out of there and back to where Chloe's house is, and he's trying to tell the captain, "Yo, I saw this, I saw that. Yo, we got to get out of here. Like, we gotta."
Nah, he was telling them they got to blow that place up.
Yeah.
You said the mission has changed. We can't just be doing this. We have to kill these. We have to blow that whole shit up. We can't just blow the radio tower. That's not enough.
Right.
Which is understandable. But I ain't gonna lie, for that era in time, he was pretty bold to go against his commanding officer. Because think about it, like, you have a mission to do, right? Yes. Will they have super soldiers? Possibly. But
and the other thing,
see, they didn't know what that serum was. I understand he didn't know what that serum was, but he did see all those crazy, like you said, he saw those crazy experiments going on in there, and he's like, "Yo, we got to destroy this before they continue on to do it." But this is coming from my practical brain. Destroying the tower, in my eyes, technically is, of course, you got to do the heroic thing, but destroying the tower would technically save more U.S. lives, because they're storming in on Normandy, D-Day. That would save more lives than destroying that lab. But heroes got a hero. This is a movie.
Yeah,
you can't you can't not hero.
So what ends up happening is one of their boys get shot up by the captured Captain Waffner.
The photographer gets shot.
The photographer got shot. I forgot how, but somehow, like, the captain had a bag over his head.
Yeah, they had him strung up. U.S. agent. I'm gonna keep calling him U. Let me stop calling him U.S. agent. Why, Captain Corporal Ford had him tied up in the attic of Chloe's my boo's attic, right? Because they were interrogating him. So what they did was, he was getting beat up. Javon,
just Boyce.
I'm just going, yeah, Boyce Watkins, Dr. Boyce Watkins. Okay, so Boyce comes in, is like, "Yo, we gotta handle all this crap later. We're done interrogating him. We gotta handle this business." They interrogated him the first time to ask him what is the needle and crap for. He wouldn't say. Well, of course he wouldn't say. It makes no sense for him to say. And he basically lied and told him, like, "I have no idea. We basically just bring the bodies and let the scientist do his work," which obviously is a lie. So, for some odd reason, Corporal Ford tells the photographer
to watch him.
Nah, he tells him to string him down, to pull him down. And I'm like, all right, well, that was over the night. Mind you, this is taking place over several days. So at night, he was getting interrogated. And the next day, he tells the photographer to untie him and, basically get him on going. Now, the minute you untie that man and he just flops to the floor.
Oh, and they start to wrestle and shit.
Yeah. He gonna ask him, is he asleep? And he gonna kill him like, "Yo, it's time to get up." If I see him on the ground like that,
oh my god,
I know he faking. He faking.
Yeah, I just ran through the clip right now. This man wrestled him.
He didn't even notice it.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And he did not notice that pretty much he's screwing you, man. He's playing with you. And you fell for it. You end up paying the ultimate price. He ends up getting
Grabbed his
shot
gun
and died. Yeah, he
and he was
grabbed his gun
shooting
wildly.
because he was shooting while he was blindfolded, had the sack
Yeah.
over his head, and he was shooting everywhere. And this fool wanted to like try to take the gun away from him. He got shot in the chest a couple of times. They come running upstairs and pin Waffner down, and Chase is on the floor bleeding. He's already dead.
Yeah.
Boyce decides to stick Chase with the needle because he saw one of the doctors stick the needle inside somebody that was already dead, and they came back to life. So he did the same thing for Chase. This man pops back up like he was on cocaine.
Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, I'm great. I'm great." I'm like, "Nah, nigga, you not great."
The holes in his chest are still bleeding.
Yeah, they're still bleeding out.
Yeah, and he's like, "Nah, man, I'm good. I'm good." And then he stands up.
He's like, "I need some water." Before he gets, he asks for some water.
He got some
takes
water.
a metal
the
canteen, drinks from it, and then crushes it. And then he just starts, his high just starts keep getting
he felt kind of hot.
High.
He had that crack. Off his jacket.
Yeah, he had that crack high. He was getting hot. He was getting all sweaty. He wasn't scratching, but, he was getting that crack itch. And then he just started going ham on people.
Well,
he smashed his head up against the wall. He destroyed a support beam in the house.
And then he slung his head so far back that he broke his neck.
His own neck.
And put his head back on. And everybody's like, "Yo, are you good?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Nah, he ain't good, nigga.
He's like,
not good. They had to put his ass down.
It's like, "What did you do to me? What the hell did you do to me?" So that's when he started getting angry and started attacking his own men. And they had to put him down a couple of times. They shot him up in the chest or whatever. He came back up. And then
Boyce blew his head.
No, he didn't know. Nah.
He hit him with the butt of his gun.
Yeah.
Blew his skull wide open.
Stomping his head open.
And that was the first sign of Boyce actually manning up, finally.
That's when he
learning that something had to get put down.
That's when he became a man.
Yeah, slowly but surely. Here's what I wish they would have done throughout the movie. Like, he should have had like little moments. I understand. Okay, like you said, what was the budget? Like 38 mil? Something like that?
Mil, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, never mind. They had to edit some of that down and had to cut scenes, or they couldn't film certain scenes because if they had a bigger budget, they could have told a more detailed story about, obviously show signs of him being timid, which they did, but then also show some more signs of him, like as they go through these atrocities of war, show him like becoming stern, but for what it was, I'm not going to really complain about this. It wasn't that bad.
Wasn't that bad? Yeah, no.
Where were we? Yeah, they destroy. The photographer's head is destroyed. He looks like a cockroach on the ground.
Oh, but now the Captain Wacker,
got free.
He's scot free, and he grabs Chloe's brother Paul. Goes downstairs.
The racist.
Wow. Goes downstairs with Paul, and they end up having a shootout in front of Chloe's house.
Yeah,
and end up taking Paul away. And Chloe's like, that's, you talk about that moment where, things have changed. We have to go over there and destroy that laboratory.
Mm-hmm. And then the same dude that was poking fun at Boyce is all like, yeah, Captain, we gotta help. We can kill two birds with one stone. That's another point where the budget again must have messed it up a little bit, because it doesn't make any sense for him to like 360 from ragging on him, and just because this kid gets kidnapped to now, let's go do both missions. Well, he didn't care before.
He didn't care before, but he spent some time with like 6 hours with that kid. The kid was always,
but he didn't like him.
He didn't.
At that point, he didn't show any signs of liking him either.
No, remember, he liked him when he started.
He gave him a piece of gum.
Yes. Once you show interest, you already start changing your mind.
I guess, but give us a little, like, that's what I'm saying. The timing, the time of this movie should have been longer, so you can get a little more, like a little bit more. Like, give us a little moment where he wants to throw the ball. He's like, man, fuck out of here, kid, and he chucks the ball aside. Then like you said, okay, he gives him the gum. All right. And then he starts mocking him. Remember when he started mocking him? Everything he did, he wanted to do too.
Following him around
And
and stuff.
he's like, man, stop following me around. Like, give us a little bit of that, and then give us
the way he was doing.
give us a little tiny bit more. I know they had to do it within time constraints, but I wish it was a little bit more because I like that moment. That was a good moment.
Well, he had another moment when it's like towards the end, but
it was good though. It was good. It was good.
So now they're basically infiltrating the place because Boyce told him like, "Yo, I can get us in. I've been in there. I can get us in."
He got good ass memory.
Yeah, well, he convinced the captain, "Hey, this is where we came." They basically went through the whole sewer system. Yep. And Chloe went on her own. Is like, I got to go find my brother Paul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they were kind of because the captain, he was still kind of the corporal. I'm sorry, the corporal was still kind of like, yo, we got to get this radio tower for his priority was still the radio tower, even though he reluctantly said, yeah, I'm going to help. Yeah. Chloe could tell that his fervor, I don't know if I'm using the right word, but his fervor was still towards getting this radio tower down. And she's like, bro, I don't have time to wait for y'all. I need to get my brother out of here.
Yeah. So she basically kind of forced his hand a little bit. But Boyce saw where the command station, the communication area was, and so that's basically he led him there. They put C4.
Make sure they got that part on there.
Yep. So Chloe, she's a G. Like,
yeah, Chloe was the most gangster person.
She ends up like sneaking around, and she got a gun, and she came across 2 German soldiers, and she's like, "Where's my brother?" And the dude was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" She ends up shooting him in the head.
She just knocked him out of there
and say, "Where's my brother?" And dude leads her to the cell where they were keeping all these other experiments, and
she was kind of silly for even like looking in there. Yeah, she was kind of silly for doing that.
She was dumb. She was dumb. Like, you can see the soldiers like inching right around you, and next he's gonna push you in there. Like, no, come on now.
She was lucky to get out of that. I ain't gonna lie. She was lucky as hell to get out of that.
Yo, Boyce basically did instant transmission and hit that dude out of nowhere because he's wearing military boots and it's a long ass hallway.
Oh yeah, he hear him. He hear him coming. Oh, you ain't hit and it's a concrete hallway. You ain't hit
nothing.
You ain't hit none of that coming. He was so focused on trying to push her in there that he wasn't even thinking. And then he got.
So he ended up, he got knocked down or whatever, and then next the experiment that's in there grabs the soldier.
Yep, took his ass straight to hell.
Yeah, so they ended up running away or whatever. And mind you, that was some good prosthetics, man.
Yeah, no, that was good. They spent the money, like, even though it was a low budget. Me personally, I think they spent the money right. Like, I know the airplane scene was kind of messed up a little bit, but it wasn't like. It didn't take me all the way out of it because the initial part of it with the airplane getting shot up, that all looked good to me. So, that one little, mind you guys, that one little thing I'm complaining about is very, very minor. It doesn't matter. Everything else was done perfectly.
Right. All right. Let me move this along. So they end up finding the communications area, putting the C4, and we see Captain Waffner again. And he's all fucking beefed up because he injected himself with three vials of that serum. He took 2 or 3.
It was
2. Because it was.
I was counting.
3, he took 2. His face is like half blown off because he got shot in the face.
Yeah, it went right here. Exit wound. I didn't even know the wound was that bad because when he first escaped from Closed House, I thought he got shot in the shoulder because I saw him go back like this. I didn't think that he got lit through the face and got 50 Cent. I didn't know that's. I didn't know.
You saw him. Happened. He was basically holding his face the whole time when he walked in.
Well, yeah, when he walked in, but I'm like, why the hell is he holding his face? I didn't realize that he actually got shot in the face.
Yeah. So, U.S. agent was getting his ass whooped the same way he beat Captain Waffner.
Captain
But
Hyman.
the,
Hyman.
there's one minor detail. Captain Waffner basically took a fucking hook and hung him up from his chest. So he's basically
Yeah,
being
getting
hung
gutted.
by his rib cage.
Yeah, that was disgusting. So basically, you guys, if this was a video game, he's literally at the boss fight.
Yeah,
This is the boss fight.
yeah. Damn, that shit hurt like hell. And you saw that man. He was like, as much as we hate U.S. Agent, he held his own.
Yeah, he did a good job. I felt bad for him. I didn't see him as U.S. agent in this one. You know, this one I can separate him. You know, I do not like him as U.S. agent. He's an asshole. But
when's the shield when you need it? When you want to stomp somebody's head in?
yeah, now I need him to have the shield right here because I want him to stomp this German out like really, really badly. I want him to stomp him out.
Yeah,
this Nazi. Let me be very specific.
Boyce basically comes in there and tries to help him out. And Boyce is getting thrown all over the place. He got thrown into a glass window. He got dragged, but somehow he's able to like.
I don't know how he's surviving it. Well, he's the main character. You know, his health bar was slowly. It was slowly going down. He wasn't all the way gone.
It was a boss fight, and then it was a 2-parter, right? So then Captain Waffner basically was giving his monologue, and he's opening up the storage units where all the other dead bodies are, and they're basically coming back to life.
Yeah, those are his minions. So you know you got your good. So you know when you got your boss fight, you know sometimes when you play a video game, you got all these little Koopas. We'll just call them Koopa Troopers.
Okay.
Got little Koopa Troopers that you got to beat, right? But then when you get to the boss fight, there's certain levels of boss fights, and then some of those boss fights is just the boss by himself, and then there's some where it's the boss, and then they add Koopa Troopers in with it. So not only do you got to fight the boss, but you got to navigate the Koopa Troopers. So this is kind of what happened in this ending to this movie.
Yeah. So we know 2 times that Wyatt Russell took a super serum.
Yeah, because he had to end up taking one in order to fight back and give our boy Boyce a chance.
Yep. So now they're going at it to. I guess he's not really a zombie. He's hurt.
Okay. So this serum that they're taking, right? This refined serum from under the earth of France or whatever, and basically what it is, you can kind of compare it loosely. You can compare it to the T virus in Resident Evil. So basically what the T virus was used for, we all know, right? It's used for making enhanced biological weapons. So this is a light version of that. It basically takes, well, it is a version of that. It's not even light because it's taking dead bodies and bringing them back and creating soldiers. It's the T virus without the T virus. It's T virus light. So yeah, they're taking T virus serums, but it just doesn't make you as some people. I guess it doesn't.
You gotta have
the right. It does.
You gotta have the right mindset
to control it.
Remember, Chase. He was like, "What the fuck you do to me?" So he's basically like getting angry.
Yeah, he understands what's happening to him.
Right.
In a sense. He doesn't understand, but he knows that something's wrong. And then as more wrong things are happening, he starts to like kind of transform a little bit.
Yeah.
And I guess over time you do transform because think about it. Captain Hyman, he with his face blown off, he started getting the sweats, and slowly, if you watch it, it's like part of it's healing, and then part of it's not, and it's like he is becoming a monster per se. Yeah. And the same thing happened to U.S. Agent because, like, near the end of their boss battle, I'm sorry. Why I keep calling you U.S. Agent, man?
That's the first time that I've seen
Corporal Ford. Ford.
Whatever.
So when Corporal Ford, he actually, we already know what's happening. All right, Corporal Ford, he's sort of kind of getting the best of him, and he's giving Boyce a chance to get out of there, right? And he's like, you've done your job. I already set the chargers. I already set the charges for the tower. The charges down here are already set up. All you need to do is set that timer again and get the hell out of here. You've done your job. I'll hold them off.
I'm gonna buy you some time while you do that.
And Boyce was kind of pissing me off near the end because I'm like, yo, he just gave you the chance Stop telling him, open. I understand it had to be a little moment there, but I'm like, stop being such a pussy. You can't save everybody.
Well,
Like,
so here's the thing, and Boyce knows this, or he probably realized it later on. Like, both of them could have escaped, right? But
could they?
but here's the both of them could have escaped, right? But what's his name? Ford basically locked him from the outside, so that he can hold him off. Because if both of them had escaped and they locked Waffner in, Waffner could have escaped, just kicked down the gate, because he's still
leave them as
still
he could
super
have found a way
strong.
out. He's super strong. So he's basically doing that to hold him back. But he's also doing it for another reason too. Think about it. If Ford were to escape, right, and let's say everybody else died, we don't know if Ford can control himself after he fully transformed. Because remember, he has his super strength. But remember when he was locked behind the bars, as he's telling him, yo, you need to get out of here. Every time they flipped the scene between him and Boyce, he started getting more pale, more white. He started getting these like dark rings around his eyes. He was still transforming. So we don't know if he would have turned like into more of a monster. He doesn't know how dangerous he could have been to his own troops. So he did the right thing. And Boyce was a little too ignorant for a second there to understand that, like, bruh, you gotta know when's the right time to follow orders, bruh. He's like, get the hell out of here. And eventually our valiant hero does what he's supposed to do.
He comes out from the rubble, walks into town.
You
got young Paul,
depressed G.
Yeah, you got young Paul, and everybody's like patching their wounds up and everything, and it's kind of like a happy ending.
Yeah, it's a happy ending.
Boyce gave his report to his CO, and his CO was like, "Are you sure there's been some talks about some sort of laboratory or whatever around here? You don't think we would find anything valuable if we dug up the rubble, do you?" It's like, nah.
Yeah, ain't shit down there for you.
Nah.
I ain't gonna lie, I probably wouldn't have lied like that. Because what if somebody else finds that joint and licks that joint, like some Attack on Titan serum shit? You don't want that to happen.
Imagine like when the war's over and then they decide to rebuild the city and then they uncover
all that bullshit.
Yeah. Like, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, it's nothing you can do about it because you never revealed that it was there. So if France decides to go on a tirade, that could happen. But I have a gripe. Well, it's a gripe and I guess a benefit for some people. So, this is a Halloween special little episode for you guys for the month of October. The thing is, if you're not quite into scary movies and you just want a little light, type of horror movie, this was fine for you. Okay. Yeah. It's not too many jumps. It's not
there's barely any jumps.
Barely anything in here. So if you wanna, snuggle up with your boo and he wants to watch something super scary, but you don't, this is a comfortable ground for you. For me, this was not horror enough. This is more of an action film, less of a horror film. This is an action film with horror elements like sprinkled on top. Like very light though. It's very light because most of the movie you don't get any glimpse of any of this horror at all. Like it takes a while before you get to it. Like Boyce has to go into that go into the laboratory the first time, and then you get hints of it. You get a little with the sack, with the severed head. You get little things here, and it won't be too bad. Oh, the aunt when he peeks through the door, and she looks at him. But oh, and when he peeks through the through one of those metal doors, you get a little something there. But I rewinded it twice. Look, it didn't even scare me. I rewinded it twice because I couldn't see what the thing he was looking at. It was just like a yellow, opaque, fleshy thing. Like it didn't do anything to me. So for the guys, if you want to snuggle up with your lady, she's not really into horror like that, and you still want to get her to snuggle up next to you, you can show her this because you'll get some action. She'll get a little bit of action. She might get a little scared, but it won't be too bad. But
This movie is about an hour and 40. I say hour 45 because credits and stuff like that. 45 minutes into this film, you don't see anything horrific.
Yeah, nothing. So you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
If you're not into that thing. But for us, if you're really into horror, I would not recommend this as a horror movie. I would more recommend this as an action movie with some
Horror
sprinkle.
elements.
Yeah, very light sprinkle. But all around, to me, it was still good. This is what a video game movie should be. And y'all know I hate video game movies. If you wanted to do a video game movie good, this is the way you do it. This is the way it's done. I like this movie. It's just not a horror movie. But for me, it's not a horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah, this was
did you like
a
it?
good movie. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I liked the practical effects that and they've actually gotten some awards because of the effects that they used.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Sad to see our boy Grey Worm die in the beginning, but you knew that shit was coming. You knew it was coming.
I didn't know that shit was coming. I thought he was going to stay around for a little bit.
You know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of that scene in Black Dynamite when that dude was talking about going home and seeing his girl. Like, yo, after this war, we're gonna go home. And then next, he gets a ninja star thrown into his chest.
That didn't make no damn sense. That nigga was gone, man. That was funny though. That was a funny scene. I ain't gonna lie. That was funny as fuck.
But yeah, it's a good rental. If you're bored and you're not doing anything, you just watch.
Yeah, it's only $3. Yeah, it's only $3 to rent. I checked everywhere. It's like well, I didn't check everywhere. I checked 2 places.
Hulu, Amazon.
It was $3 on Amazon too. Okay, well, if it's $3 on Hulu, it's $3 on Amazon. I know that for a fact, and it's $3 on Apple. Whatever the Apple thing is. That's where I rented it. It's $3 or $3.99 for the HD. Yeah, $3.99 for the HD. So $4. That's not a bad rental. I suggest you rent it for the holiday season for all those who aren't super into horror but do want to take part in the Halloween themed festivities. So
right. I mean,
thumbs up for me.
It's gotten a 6.6 on IMDb, and it's gotten a on Rotten Tomatoes an 81%.
Oh yeah, 81% approval rating from the audience.
Yeah.
Oh well, then yeah, that's a good movie, man. Yeah, that's a good movie. Straight up, you guys go check it out.
Yeah.
And all right.
Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. I mean, if you listen on Anchor, we got a lot of people listening on Anchor. If you guys could also like our YouTube channel, that would be
not just subscribe.
Like and
we
subscribe.
Are very close to hitting a goal. So you guys go ahead, go over there, subscribe to the page, tell your friends to subscribe to the page, share the page, share the videos. We also have clips of our live streams and longer format videos like these. You can, if you don't have time to watch the whole thing, some of them are broken down into little clips. You can just digest those like that. So, make sure to share those as well. Help us get our engagement up. And thank you for all those who have supported us.
Yeah, help us get our engagement up so we can get invited to do a Blue Chew commercial.
I know, man. We try and get these Blue Chew deals.
Blue Chew, Manscaped.
Come on, man. Manscaped. Yeah, we try and get all that. Look at them all. I need some Manscaped. Come on, man. Get us some deals, man. I know y'all want to see our boy shine. Come on.
Help Black-owned businesses.
Yeah. Please.
All right.
All right. Bye, everybody.